Gather round, fellow countrymen, and I'll sing for you a tale. Not the kind you'll sing at night or hear from Uncle Sam. Mystery and an unsolved case that'll make your judgment fail. Try to guess what man or beast would kill a little lamb. Oh, 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 oh. She had a melancholy humor and a mystic kind of air. Never did nobody harm her, gave no cause to care. And when they came to find her, well, where to look?
Who was it?
And who could tell us what had been and give back
what was took?
Where'd you go, poor Elisa? Do you want us to know? Will you show us, Elisa? What lesson will we learn when you go? Where'd you go, poor Elisa? What lesson will we learn when you go? It started out real normal, just a January day. Sunshine out in La La Land where she had come to stay. Everything felt normal, but something wasn't right. 'Cause somewhere in between the floors our girl flew out of sight. Oh, 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 oh. She hopped on an elevator, but then it wouldn't close. Why she pushed each button, still nobody knows. Her family was a-calling, Elisa couldn't hear. Why did you look so scared, girl? Why did you disappear? Whoa, 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 whoa. Something seemed to spook. What could her trouble be? Was her life in danger? Was there something we can't see? Or could it be somebody? She's hiding like she's prey.
Who was it?
Checking if the coast was clear for her to run away.
There was something wrong here. Something wasn't right. Something came to hurt our girl and took her out of sight. There was something wrong. Something wasn't right. Something came to her and took her out of sight. There was something wrong.
Something wasn't Something came to her, took her out of sight.
There was something
Where'd you go, poor Elisa? Do you want us to know? Will you show us, Elisa? What lesson will we learn when you know? What lesson will we learn when you know? What lesson will we learn when you go? After Elisa got off the elevator, nobody saw her again. Her parents filed a missing persons case, but without any leads, it was as if she had vanished into thin air. So that brings us up to here, the roof of the Cecil Hotel. Why, you ask? What are you doing up here?
I'm checking the water tanks.
Why are you doing that?
Guests have been complaining about the water. It's been coming out all black and slow, so they told me to come up here and check them.
That's a good enough reason for me.
If you ask me, it's probably these old pipes. They haven't been replaced since the 20s. Who knows what kind of lead these people have been drinking.
There was something wrong here. Something wasn't right.
Probably a waste of time being up here anyways.
Something else was going on. just hiding out of sight.
And lifting these lids is a pain in the ass. They weigh over 40 pounds.
There was something wrong here. Now the start is near.
It's not like anything or anyone can get up here on their own.
Finding only mystery.
Shit. There's a girl in here.
Nobody could have foreseen what was going to come next. The footage of Elisa in the elevator hit the internet, and overnight she went from being an obscure missing person to an absolute sensation.
Hello there, Detective Nation. It's me, America's favorite amateur sleuth. And today we are talking about the case of Elisa Lam. Her body was discovered. Now we know that she is dead. They didn't say what happened, how she got there. No, instead they buried up the details like they buried her remains. Something strange here if you use your brains. She couldn't get up to the roof by herself. She couldn't lift the water tank lid by herself, yet she was in the tank with the lid closed behind her. They say she wasn't followed. Do they think this was a prank? She clearly looked behind her. Now she's floating in a tank. The water lid's so heavy she can't pick it up alone. It was murder when she tripped or thrown. And now she's suddenly famous. She's suddenly famous. And now the whole world knows her name. She'll throw down in history as crime's greatest mystery. The internet won't be the same.
Hello, YouTube tribe. Today we are going to be talking about Elisa Lam. Her video has been viewed 1.6 million times already. So many people have been speculating about her death, but I want to be serious here. I've watched this video at least 20 times, and I know this girl. Why has everybody lied? Why can no one see what I see? They wanted you to hide. You were sad like me. But I know your pain. When your life's a stain, they don't know. When it's impossible to smile, they make you somebody famous. She's somebody famous. Remember to like and subscribe, and try not to dwell less on mental unwellness, and share if you like YouTube Tribe.
Welcome back. As always, this channel is devoted to a keen, rational examination of the facts and an honest, piercing look at the truth.
Shadows walked in behind her when the door tried to close. Clearly she's talking to somebody there. And then she froze. It's haunted, now pop quiz. Who knew that hotel is
Totally famous, the hotel is famous for energy sightings and grief. This isn't a mystery, just look at the history. At least that is my strong belief.
Oh, she's suddenly famous. She's suddenly famous. And now the whole world knows her name. Her death is a mystery to go down in history. A terrible plot. We want theories, you got three, and our world will not be the same.
Stop. She's suddenly famous. What is wrong with you? This was a person. She was a person. Not a character in a movie. She was a daughter. People are grieving. Her parents are grieving. She isn't a joke. This isn't a
Calm
joke.
down.
There's no law against speculating.
You all are just using her.
Whoa. Not cool, dude.
People who cared about her are trying to understand why this happened, and you are making her a joke.
Maybe you just think that because you think she's a joke.
It's not our fault that she's famous.
Excuse me, I made her famous.
People have a right to know about her.
People want to know more about her.
She's famous.
She didn't want to be famous.
That's not my fault.
What was her favorite color? You want to know more about her? What was her favorite color? Tell me that. Before any of this happened, what did she pretend was her favorite food? She'd say it was tuna neck, but what she really loved most were Oreos. Tell me more about her. Who were her best friends? What did she watch on TV when she was feeling sad? How could you be sure to make her laugh? What was her favorite dream?
You never asked me,
I should have asked you.
but you didn't.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure I would have told you anyway.
Is it too late for me to ask now?
I don't dream about anything anymore.
I miss you.
I miss you too. And I miss dreaming. Lying under a sky that was bright, like the sun and the light were both weightless. As they danced on my skin, I remember how warm it had been in sunlight. And it wrapped me inside of its beams as I fell into dreams that were weightless. I miss dreams in the sky. When you're dreaming, you think you can fly high as the moon. Why are dreams over so soon? Days are warm and then they're done. People smile and then they run. Endless dreams turn into none after dark. Music, I remember music, weightless and strong. I remember a song, getting lost in the stars, lost in a sound that was ours. I miss feeling a warmth you can keep. No one sings you to sleep when you're weightless. You don't dream, you just are, like you're watching your life from afar. No one can hear when you scream. Weightless, awake in a dream. Weightless, why do I feel weightless? Touch me if you can. Reach or touch or feel. Hold me like I'm real. Precious and soft and sad, not weightless. Weightless as the dreams I had.
I love you, Elisa.
I love you too, Dad.
We still don't know what happened to Elisa. I'm not sure no one would make things any easier. But in a way, the mystery around her has kept her alive. Not that that's good enough. Where you go for Elisa? Can we know?
Can we know?
Now we owe you, Elisa, a lesson we can learn. Take care of someone today. On we go.